I mean, seriously, guys.
I mean, come on, man.
Seriously,
Don't say
guys.
not to.
We're doing the sounds of silence tonight for a couple of reasons. One, we don't know how to work music on this show.
Wait,
We're not
what's
very
this wee
smart.
What's this wee stuff?
Oh, dude, please,
Man, I don't know how
be
to
my
do
guest.
shit.
Educate me.
And we lost,
your
so you get a little bit of
technical
a
difficulties.
moment of silence.
that's
T will
fair.
be singing us in next week. He promises. He's got a couple of things lined up just
I
for
just
that.
thought a Space Odyssey with the 1AD would be appropriate.
It's super appropriate. I think we have some Space Odyssey-esque tracks here from EO. But for God's sake, I think I'm turning it off and I'm turning it up. People are trying to understand what we're saying.
No
and they can't.
offense, EO. Your music is great.
It is. It's really great. Welcome to Thursday night. On behalf of First Amendment Sports, I'm Ken Marangolo. This is Thank God It's Tuesday. The year 1AD. He's Tim Strachan.
I really look forward to Tuesday nights. This one,
you really do.
This one was. Let's go through it real quick. If you do it, it's like a Band-Aid.
He's Kevin Ricca.
Rip it
All
off.
right. Well, to be fair, I have had a better time watching T. Strachan take a dump.
Who hasn't?
Wow.
Yeah.
Who hasn't?
Well, I thought about that on the ride over. It's like not even close. I've had like a dozen better times
But
doing
yeah,
it.
I think you're underselling my dumps
You're right.
It's not.
And-
It's about what
because
we
I have
can
some
do
epic ones.
during them.
So
Right. It's a group effort. Sorry. It's what it is. If you don't like it, you can watch a show that doesn't have a ridiculous group of
when I write a book,
Non-normals.
if I write a book, I will have an entire chapter just called "Shit Happens."
yeah, as it should. That's what got us out of the area.
It'll be the best chapter of the whole book.
I agree.
Manner
It
of
was a great
speaking,
time.
did you pay your electric bill? What do we do now? Because of the silence or the lighting or what's going on? I get a comment like that. We're gonna put it up on the screen. We have to. We have the constant. You think I did?
Damn.
I'm pretty sure I did.
This is your house.
It's so bright,
It's so bright. It's
so bright.
we still haven't figured it. We still haven't perfected the lighting, but it's come a
This
long
is
way.
gigantic
We got this
incandescent
huge
ball.
Light
It's
eyeball.
a globe of light. We can turn it up for Manner of Speaking though, because it seems dark. He said it seems dark. Okay, fair enough.
Kevin's forehead's shiny. I mean,
it's a sheen. It's a lather.
This is, by the way,
I had a film session. I'm lathered, and yes,
I take these comments. These are our producers. These are the people who tell us,
That's
like,
very true.
have gotten us to where we are because they could tell. They'd be like, "Bah, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong. That's wrong." I mean, we've been just taking a list for the last 6 years and just ticking one by one. So we're gonna brighten
Takes
things
a
up.
village.
It
Takes a
does.
village.
It does.
it's a great village.
Robert Cohen, Greg Martin, Manner of Speaking, EO in the house. He's walking the dog. We owe him a dinner tab. We had a great picture
that
taken
was
by his wife
hysterical.
of him watching our show at a restaurant,
It
which
was hysterical, man.
is kind of amazing. And he kept a straight face.
He did.
Like, you guys
It
couldn't.
just-
In the beginning of the show, EO kept a straight face for the picture of him watching us.
It made me so proud and
Mm-hmm.
happy. Just undercover brother, just showing out.
Absolutely. We did have a game on Sunday. We'll talk a little bit about that because we have a bigger game this coming Sunday. That'll be the bulk of our, talk. I think I mentioned on the Twitter sphere. Do we have to call it X? Can I just still say Twitter forever?
no, you have to say X, formerly known as.
I know, it's so terrible.
I'm just going to go with Twitter.
Yeah.
You know how I feel about these things. I still call CBS Peoples.
We still call them
Commanders of the
Redskins.
Skins.
Yeah.
Is it
I
still a
mean,
tweet
What?
Yes, it's all. I don't know what an
No.
X
or is
if
it a
you-
post?
I don't know. So, I mean, I hate joining anything. I'm still not on Facebook. I'm still not on a lot
These
of
are
things.
things we're going to have to know now in the post Swifty NFL era, which
can't
is
even-
absolutely ridiculous.
This will
by
be the last football player she dates.
It is.
I'm not convinced it's the first. Just as long as
People
we're
have
being
lost
fair.
their mind. ESPN has lost their mind.
The Kansas City Chiefs should be horrified. This is
Oh,
horrendous.
yes. Oh, it is.
There's
Andy
no
Reid was
good way
asked
for this
about
to
it
go.
in his post.
Bill Belichick
Jane-
commented about it. I mean, he had an awesome comment. He
It's
hasn't
insane.
had a good comment about football for years. And they asked him about Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, and he said Kelsey's had a lot of big catches in his career. This would be his biggest. I
Well,
mean,
that's
like,
a fact.
I don't know if I agree with that.
but
That
it's
is a
still the
fact.
most
And I'm a-
interesting
and
thing
I'm-
he
and I'm a
said.
big-
Are you against?
I
Are
think
you?
Taylor Swift
you're
is
about-
fantastic.
okay, I was going to say
No,
you're
no.
about to get canceled.
No, I'm all about Taylor Swift. I'm
all
just
about
saying
Taylor Swift.
I'm a football guy and a lover of pop music, and
Yeah.
he's had bigger catches. I'm just gonna say this is Travis Kelce, man. Now he goes out there and just says, "I want to
He's
date her,"
pouring
and
it
they're
on.
dating. I know, but it's kind of odd. It's all weird, and it can't go well. It cannot. When Pat Mahomes says, "Yes, I felt pressure to get him a touchdown because she was in the box,"
He was joking.
I know, but honestly, think about it. His brother is Jackson Mahomes, the king of clicks.
Terribleness.
What do you think he wants to do? You don't think he's like, get me on with Taylor Swift?
Oh, for sure.
Oh, shit.
And I know, bet you Travis Kelce's like, first of all, he's like, no way, because Taylor's never going to be down with that.
She's
in a
hanging out with
million
Mom
years.
Dukes, though. That's interesting. When Mom Dukes is sitting directly next to her,
That's a big deal.
it's something. But her face did not reveal anything.
No.
Mrs. Kelsey, well played.
It has all the makings for a 7-day relationship or 70-year relationship. There's almost no in
Or a
between.
great freaking future album.
Well, all her albums are
what it
breakup albums, right? So
I mean, for the-
Every one of them.
this is, oh my gosh.
first of all, she has some positive stuff. I mean,
I'm a fan.
Love
I'm
story?
not going to go to her concert unless my daughter says, "Dad, I want to go to your concert." Sure, but the best music she's done is her last 2 years. I think it's
that's
kind
pretty
of-
big time stuff.
It's just she's a mega star.
I know
That's-
she's
that's-
super
that's-
talented.
that's
Football
the thing,
world, the
T.
football world is losing their effing mind.
There's not many things in
She
our
went to a
world that's
damn
bigger than the
football
NFL. And when Taylor Swift enters the atmosphere, she's bigger than the NFL.
So you don't think someone was like, you should hate someone that's probably going to be in the Super Bowl, seeing as you're doing the Super Bowl halftime show, which is just blow this thing up and do wherever. And she's like, dumb, 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 dumb. And then Kelsey's like, how about me on social media? He was like, he threw his hat in the ring months ago.
Oh, for sure he did. Of course he did.
So now guess what? Be careful what you wish for, Travis. You might be going to the Super Bowl. She's playing the halftime show.
No, Usher's doing a halftime show.
It's not Taylor Swift.
Nope.
I thought it was boy bands.
Usher.
What's Taylor Swift doing then? I thought
I
this
think
all.
Taylor, I think
thought it
Taylor
was in
Swift's going to be in
sync or something.
in the box with mom.
I've been given poor information.
I want to say they've been trying to get her to do the halftime show for a while. And
I guess that would
I
be a
don't know if-
mega. All right.
I don't know that
maybe
she
I
has or
misunderstood.
hasn't. I don't recall that she's ever done it, but it's definitely something they've been. Everyone, I mean, the NFL, obviously, they're not.
I thought they were bringing all
Dumb.
the boy bands back.
No, it's Usher. Usher agreed this week. Usher said he's doing it.
Well, Usher's a
it's
dog.
to be a second one.
I get it.
And to me, it's a direct response to the fact that Rihanna, who's great, came and brought nobody with her. Usher's going to come in and he's going to have some awesome.
She brought a 1+. She was
yeah,
pregnant.
she brought the
and-
OnePlus. That's true. But it was like, it wasn't exciting. We talked about that halftime show.
We did. And I'm a Rihanna fan. It wasn't her best.
Exactly.
effort. That's all.
Usher knows what to do. He's coming in with all kinds of sidekicks. I mean, it should be pretty.
Yeah.
It should be pretty fun. I'll take that. NES Tecmo, what's going on? All right, so he said the same thing. Here's what I think about this, since you said it too.
That's what I mean. I'm sorry. I'm not bringing anyone near mom.
She's dropping F-bombs right next to mom, too, without care.
Well, I mean,
that's
that's
comfortability.
Mom Kelsey right
That's
there.
comfortability.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's true. That's very true. That's understanding. She was all in. By
I
the
still
way.
think it's possible they're not dating at all.
I know.
Right? I would say it's 51% chance that Travis Kelce hasn't gotten to first base in this
I knew,
relationship.
for some reason, I knew you were going to take this to the diamond. And
Yes,
it's so
yes, of
uncomfortable.
course.
It's so uncomfortable.
I
They're
understand.
both 33 years old.
I
sir.
understand.
The game.
But if we're gonna talk about it, let's just like break it down. Like there's a better than even chance that this is nothing.
Stop.
Nothing.
Stop.
No, I'm not going to stop.
There's a decent chance this is nothing.
This is nothing.
This is two famous people going like, "Hey, wouldn't it be funny if you sat with my mom, brought your crew of friends, everyone had a good time, and blah blah blah, and the whole world would go bonkers." And they're right.
And they're right.
This is the world we live in now. Bonkers, and deservedly so. I get it. I do understand it. I do. I'm not surprised by it.
I don't.
This is what it is now.
And don't get me wrong. She's unbelievable. She's a mega star. She's the biggest thing out there right now. But this is bonkers.
Oh yeah.
The anti-hero, man. That's what it is, right?
I mean, I was trying to imagine
Cruel summer.
if it would be
Everyone's
as
been doing
big.
this all week. Sorry.
I know. If it would be like, if it was like, for example, like trying to pick another big name on a terrible team, like if it was like
Fill in the blank space.
Justin Fields or I don't know,
Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts. Or no, but they're a top team in the league. I'm talking like if it was a terrible team and no one cared about the team at all, and they were, and Taylor Swift showed up in the box. I think I don't know. I mean, Kansas City Chiefs are kind of a big deal. They said it, and the Kelsey jerseys are flying 400% increase in Kelsey jerseys. Like that's the economic impact of this ridiculous
Now we
story
figured out why
is so dumb.
That's why she's hanging with
just-
Mom Dukes.
She's like sprinkled her dust.
Oh yeah, dude. There's I mean, not to get too nerdy about it, but there's like a whole Taylor Swift economic number, like
yeah.
globally, like wherever
it's-
she does her show in your city is on the map economically, just by virtue of that. People are flying in, hotels are blowing up, restaurants are blowing up, and she's selling crazy amounts of merchandise. So like the Kelsey jersey sales, I mean, think about it. He's a Hall of Fame tight end, a first ballot Hall of Fame tight end. Might be the greatest tight end to have ever played the game in his prime, still getting it done, winning Super Bowls or playing in Super Bowls. He is at his peak in every sense of the word. He's popular. He's famous.
He's winning.
He's winning, and
definitely
he's
winning.
great.
But how does he get out of this one?
Dude, this like
sorry.
it's crazy.
There's no
So
way.
you don't think it ends well?
How can this? That was the greatest. That's the peak. We have seen the apex of this relationship. How can he possibly function in this NFL with the pressure of the Swifties? If he's like, sorry, but I think we need to separate. Guess what happens then? It's over.
Somebody made a good point.
Platinum
He only
album coming
has
out.
3-4 years left of his career, maybe,
Yeah.
or at least.
But he has enough money to be
And she has
to live whatever he wants to do.
Will continue to do it, and he is just gonna
forever.
kind of float in the background and love every minute of it.
If he got to hold her purse on the red carpet, he would be great at it. He
He's
would be
not
the
a
best.
purse holder, red carpet guy. This thing is coming to it might not even have started. But
It
I'm
hasn't
sorry.
started.
I can't
my money
believe this
is on
I'm
my money
proud
is
of us
on
all.
no
These two
relationship.
have lost their minds.
All
now,
of us
too.
have double-digit aged daughters, so of
Yeah,
course
yeah.
this is
Oh,
this
my
is.
daughter flew to Denver
I
to
know.
watch her
I
concert.
know.
Are you
I
kidding
know.
me?
It's
I know.
out of control.
My daughter is a Swiftie,
One of the most
no doubt
insane
about
things
it.
my daughter's ever done.
And you, to be fair.
I as a result of
I
that,
don't mean
I
that in a
listen to a
bad way.
ton of Taylor
Do
Swift, as
anything
I'm
for
sure
my
you
kids.
guys do,
That's what you did.
because they're listening to it.
Yeah.
I listen to it, and dude. I will say it's good, but there's so much terrible, awful music that's being played way too much on radio stations and being streamed. Like Taylor Swift is way better than a ton of total crap.
I looked over to the couch. Rhett's giving 3 thumbs up. Wait.
Three
Oh, God.
thumbs up. Yes,
He's a Swiftie.
He's a Swiftie.
Well done, Rhett.
But I'm glad
Well
she's not
done.
dating a Redskin,
It's not a thumb.
right?
Sir. Well, the rumor 2 weeks ago, and my team corrected me, that our quarterback. You guys have heard the rumors locally.
Mm-hmm.
Sam Howell has been connected with Taylor Swift locally over just in the whispers, and my team told me, Coach, we think that the age differences is far too much. I said, that's fine. I coach 13-year-old. I coach 8th grade boys, and they let me know that the Skins quarterback
It's too young.
was 10 years younger, and that just didn't make sense. It did make sense with Kelsey because he's 33. They're both 33. So the research has been done.
That'd be a
So-
great album name. Doesn't she do a lot of like age title stuff, like
Yeah.
15, 22, blah blah blah. 33. That was well, it's a tough year for.
Well, as long as it's
say.
not the old 49er, 4 picks and 9 sacks, because that is what Sam Howell did
Yeah.
pull off this past weekend.
We're
Not by himself, but he
No.
certainly had a hand in it.
All right, how about this?
A heavy, heavy, heavy right hand.
How about this? Let's go to our stat background screen, the blue. I just love blue. I think we look great in blue. Let's start with wait, oops. This is our condiment thing. Let's see. We had some ketchup.
Our audience
We
feels
had
like
some soy sauce.
what?
This was remember
What do you make, a Big Mac sauce?
Wait till you
some
see what he
fancy
does
sauce.
with the soy sauce and Martha Stewart. It gets crazy in a
It's
minute.
my fancy sauce. These are our condiments. We're gonna go. I got it over here. All right, here we go. All right, so let's just start with Sammy. All right, so Sammy was battered, absolutely battered all day long. I had going back and watching this. You guys were watching it live. I didn't get a chance to watch it live. How about this comment to start things off based on these numbers? We don't need to like dig in too deeply on this terrible number. Obviously, the 4 picks are tough. 9 sacks and only 1 screen. And that was I believe that was the fumble, right? Antonio Gibson on that.
It's
We talked so much about screens
the
last
only one
week.
of us that's ever called
don't
plays
understand.
is you, Kevin. And
Oh,
my
God. God.
question to you is: it possibly a scenario where he overthought himself? Like he over scouted himself and said, "Look, we were so good at screens. I'm not going to run any."
My 13U team is 0-2. I'm not the guy to be. I called every play. I've done this for a long time at every level. I don't want to act like I am qualified, but I will say this: it is so difficult. It's so difficult, especially with a young quarterback like this. And this guy, we all believe in. We believe in him now and
It's
in
his
the future.
first time calling plays too.
And it is. And it's the first time handling a quarterback without one of the greatest QB handlers in the history of the planet. Right there to turn around and be like, hey, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
I'm sure Andy Reid would be happy to give EB any type of advice, but it's not time for that shit right now. Not during the season. He's got his own squad. It is definite that he is trying to figure out his team still. There's no doubt about it. And he's done so well to manage. And you guys have heard me say this. I'm going to say it right now. It's the third downs. We talked about getting into a manageable first down, but here you go. On third down, Sam Howell, career-wise, in his history as our starter, is 33 times we have called a pass play on third down and asked Sam Howell to get us a first down. 6 times it's happened. In the second half of all 4 of his starts, he's 1 for 13 on third down passing, converting third down in specific passing scenarios. It's not specific to him being good or bad. I love the guy. This is a young quarterback's problem. We know this and blatantly, and that's why
1 for 9.
How about the fact,
1 for 9?
How about the fact that?
Well, hold up. Yeah, go ahead.
Their average third down distance was 10 yards.
That's brutal. We talked about first as well.
We weren't good at third down because we weren't good on first or second either.
It's very true, and we've been good on first and second all year. We weren't good on anything, but here's what happened this week on third: interception, 10-yard sack, interception, 1 complete to Antonio Gibson. A completion that was too short of a first down on 3rd and 22, a pick 6 on 3rd and 5, another sack, and another incomplete pass. That's brutal.
Yeah.
That's so brutal. Our third down reared its ugly head. 1 for 13 in the second half for all 4. I'm not throwing the guy under the bus. I'm saying this is where improvement is necessary. Third down and in the red zone. And in all 4 games in the red zone, Sam Howell is 5 for 15 in the red zone with 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. He's been extremely average there. It's an extremely tough place to have a success 4 starts into your career.
Especially in this NFL.
So I just want everyone to maintain this. I'm not going to harp on it every week, but third down and red zone is where we got to get better, and we stunk
We were
to
0 for
high
2.
heaven.
There we are, 0 for 2 in the red zone on Sunday and 1
But
for
I'm not-
9 on
I'm
third
not
down.
down.
0 for 1 on fourth.
No, not at all.
not down
But we had
on
an interception.
He's a rookie.
To a complete. I know. I'm
It's
with
his
you.
4th start. And
I'm not throwing him under the
everybody
bus
feels that way.
because I love him. And here's the other thing I wanted
And if
to
you're
say.
getting sacked 9 times, it's not your fault.
No doubt about
completely.
it.
I mean,
Not
yes,
completely.
He's holding the ball a little
Yes,
bit,
sir.
But our line is horrendous.
Hold on, we'll get to the line. Before we talk about the line, let's cycle through because let me throw this stat up there because
Throw it.
we just did the passing stats and the team stats, and so we'll throw the team stats off. And here we go. See, this is like the T-shirt from Almost Famous. It lets you say everything you've been wanting to say. Now, once again, the positive for me, just right off the bat, obviously you got a nice long run by Brian Robinson, but 18-yard run by Sam Howell. The dude can absolutely get it done. He takes so many hits in the backfield.
I love
so
him.
I don't want
didn't
him
get to say this.
run.
I said that stuff, but
Yeah,
I
we
love him
him
and I believe in him. And this was a one and done. I want him to throw 5 more. Get them all out this week. They only count for 1 loss.
keep throwing them.
I love
keep
him.
throwing the ball.
I love you, Sam Howell.
I thought B-Rob 10 for 70 with the 23-yarder.
He's a dog.
He's
a dog.
The
Yes.
tough one was
He is a
him not
dude.
getting, the 1 yard loss from the 1 yard line on 3rd and goal let's put that on. Like to me, that I'm looking at the offensive line. I'm like, guys, we've had so many times when Brian Robinson's been men at the line of scrimmage this season he's had so many 1 yard, 2 yard plays. He can make it. 20
We're all
carries.
betting on B-Rob in that scenario against
I understand.
99.9% of the guys he meets in that hole from the linebacking position. I'm not going to tell you that Aaron Donald and him collided, which way it's going to
you go.
tumble. But you know what I'm saying? He gets a head start, and he's got a forward lean. Not many dudes are stonewalling him and taking him backwards. It's just gravity.
The runs that Hal pulls off are just awesome because he's not like they're like it seems like nowadays you get a tag placed on you at the quarterback position. You're a the dual threat that is in high school and college. In the pros, they're so desperate to be able to be called pocket passers and efficient passers. But the Lamar Jacksons and the Justin Fields and the guys like that, Anthony Richardson now, the guys who are pure runners in every sense of the word that have the ability to throw, but they're just athlete ATHs all day
and
long.
all three of those guys have howitzers attached to their running back bodies.
Exactly. Sam Howell is not one of those guys, but he'll make his name as a gunslinger. But he's gonna beat you with these kinds of 2 or 3 runs a game and a 16 or 17 yarder. I mean, I still like the run that he made against the Denver Broncos 2 weeks ago on 3rd down, where he made some guys miss and he took a hit. I mean, those kinds of runs, I blew it out of proportion in the preseason, and you said it best.
No.
When he puts his foot down and turns into a running back, he is so capable.
And that decision has to be made a half a second quicker. Yep. It's just part of it. Because if he does do that,
could be a bigger part of his game.
4 times he's done it, and for 8, 9, 11, and 6. So when he runs, when he makes that delineation specifically and quickly, or if the rush holds up, because he's run a couple times and gotten tripped up, because it's got to happen quicker. And the linemen from Buffalo, and they played their ass off, and they earned their title. I didn't mind hearing them say, "Hey, the kid's gonna be good. We saw him on tape. We know it."
Yeah, they said the bad things in a complimentary way. Growing pains. He held the ball a second too long.
And by the way, because I think they understand it, they got him on this day. I don't think anyone's going to get him quite this way for a while, and I think it's okay. Everyone's like, "Should we have benched him? Do we feel the same? Do we have confidence?" Well, why would we have before this game, knowing that this was a possibility, guys, and start 4? I didn't know it'd be so many. Sorry, but yeah.
Let's not forget that Josh Allen had a similar game just 2 weeks ago.
Sure.
And everybody's putting the yellow jacket on him at some point. So I mean, look, you're gonna have bad games. If he has a string of these, then we got a problem.
Agreed.
All right.
If you see or hear something you like tonight, give us a thumbs up. Take this opportunity now to hit the subscribe button to First Amendment Sports. You'll get this and
Taylor Swift has
all
so
the Taylor
many
Swift
likes.
info that you could possibly ask for.
So many likes.
There's a lot of people.
We've got like more people on the board than we've ever had. Just
who are watching that haven't hit a thumbs up, and I'm guessing
Did someone write us a check yet?
It's a Taylor Swift thing.
Taylor Swift.
I don't know who our.
Can you please do something?
Who our ad? Who was our ad?
Our daughters
Who
love.
was our sponsor tonight? I'm interested in knowing that. NES Tecmo says so. Like the issue with the that he's capable and that it could be. You said it could be a bigger part of his game, because the reason why is because he's not a defenseless. When he gets out of the pocket and runs, he's not
the reason why
defenseless. He has a running back mentality. When he puts the ball down, he tucks it in, he runs. He's not taking like just crazy hits from the defense. He knows how to protect himself. He knows how to be the hitter instead of the hittee. Sometimes he knows how to wiggle away from hit. Like the best running backs in the league.
He does have
that
little wiggle.
That little wiggle protects basically adds like 3 or 4 years to their career because it keeps them from taking straight on shots. Like RG3 took regularly. Like guys like that who get out in the field, they're so fast, they're so athletic.
Some guys have a way bigger strike zone. Some
Yes.
guys don't have one. Hal seems to have a smaller strike zone.
He can handle instead of 18, he could get 25 to 30 yards of meaningful yards.
We can run
he
a little
actually
bit too.
reminds me when he runs the ball, to be honest with you, he reminds me a little bit of Caleb Williams. He has a way of protecting himself when he runs the ball.
Yeah.
He knows kind of where how to get out of bounds and stay out of harm's way, but he also knows how to put some moves on. And
It's like a sixth sense a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, that's when Caleb was in high school, his senior year, he didn't have a whole lot of people to throw to. He literally did it with his legs. I was so impressed.
And he was very quick
with
and
how he
fast.
did
I think
it.
he's a little
Hal
quicker and
did
a
the
little
same
faster
thing.
than Hal.
Hal
but
did the same thing his senior year in college.
He did.
He had to rely on his legs.
He did.
And I say it needs to be a bigger part of his game. One, because he can do it.
I agree.
But two, because his line sucks.
Yeah, he's got
going to
to.
have to.
A necessity.
Be the young QB.
The trigger's got to go off, and you got to get out of there a little bit quicker, or get rid of the ball.
I couldn't agree more. Be
Because
that young QB. It's okay.
9 sacks now become 6 sacks, and 3 of those runs become positive, maybe even first downs.
And if we're having a party, no more sacks. There's plenty of sacks here already. Less sacks. Less. And guess what? He will. he will do this. And I think he'll do it quicker than slower. I don't know what that pace will be. Let's stay patient because the schedule suggests there's some badass defensive players coming that we're going in to see and coming into
This
our
week
town.
especially.
But this league is not for. I think Sam Howell's the type of guy that can turn around. I'm not saying we're going to knock off the. He could turn around and have a hell of a game this week.
The lack of fumbling for getting hit that many times in the backfield by
Well, he's
300
tough as
pounders.
shit.
The lack of fumbling is huge. Talking about the sixth sense compared to Caleb. It was pointed out that the touchdown throw to Terry McLaurin against the Denver Broncos when he stood in the pocket, he did a little shimmy to the left and up into the pocket. And if you watch that play over and over again, if he's standing in the pocket, he's looking downfield and he shimmies to the left and up. And they called it a Tom Brady-esque pocket move. Tom Brady was absolutely one of his saving graces. The reason why he lasted so long, he did subtle movements in the pocket that saved him countless beatings. Sam Howell got the ball to Terry McLaurin because of that kind of a move in the pocket. There's not a lot of guys out. I mean, you probably can't teach it, and he did it, and he shows you he can do it.
Can his nickname become the old dirty bastard? He keeps shimmying back there.
He's shimmying.
Shimmying and wiggling, and he's got all kinds
shimmy,
of.
He does.
Because I
all
like
right.
that. If you're going to use
movements.
that term, it is. But he has a feel, and that's what I think we all just hit on.
We have to talk about it, and we'll let EO be the one to bring it up. We talked about not a fumble. So you know what? Hey, listen, Antonio Gibson's got to wear.
Small hands.
He's not Matt Jones. He's not Matt Jones, but
No.
it's a problem. Ultimately, here's the thing. It's going to cost him money. He wasn't coming back to us.
It's why he's not carrying the ball as much as he was before.
2 years ago, who's had the fourth amount of carries in the entire NFL?
I don't know why Rodriguez isn't getting any.
Because he started off the year with some like third down short. And in the first quarter, we had a 3rd and 1. We put Rodriguez in. I think he's been relegated. Hey, rookies, EB's old school as shit. That's his dude.
Yeah.
If he was playing up to capabilities, he'd be out there. I agree with you, though. We had high hopes for Chris Rodriguez. I know this.
He's got a lot of time to shine.
I think what hit me was when that ball hit the ground that's it. I love AG. He can do a lot for us and have a great year. But yes, his days
cost him money.
His days in burgundy and gold are done.
That's right.
And he's not. He's going to be a guy that's going to have to catch on. And he's got the skill set. Some high-powered offense will sign him to a no-brainer.
He's
contract.
going to stay.
He'll
in
be
the
around
league.
for a while with that
Yes.
skill set and that speed. He'll be fine. It's just he might not be our best fit, but that's okay. He's been cool.
I think here's what happens for Antonio Gibson. He's going to get signed by a team as a backup, to come in, and the starter's going to get hurt, and he's going to have another chance. I mean,
but he'll have a role too. Yes, as a primary backup, but as a primary backup, they will get him in for certain things. He's a guy with that type of speed. In the screen game, he was great last week. Let's not just kick him right in the nuts. We didn't screen anything, and that's kind of his thing. So if there's no screens,
How about just the right nut?
That's fair. Is he a left
He
brain?
deserves at
Is he a
least-
left
yeah.
brain dude?
He
'Cause
deserves a
that's
swift
cruel.
kick
that
in
is
one.
of all the bitter
A swift kick.
old man
Jesus,
takes
Kelsey.
by Greg Martin is true. Makes it worse that he's fumbling with less carries. That
It's
is
true. It's exactly true.
that is so troubling. So I'll give you that one, Greg Martin.
It's hard.
He
Has so many famous fumbles.
It's that's another terrible thing.
It's
that
not good.
It happens in the red zone, and I think everything inside the 37, someone said, and the majority inside the 20, it's really bad.
That's not great at all.
So bad. Again, it's going to cost you dollars. Paul Western in the house. AG needs some stickum. He needs a lot. He needs a lot. Let's go back to the stat sheet. Let's get these running carries off, these rushing stats off. Let's take a quick look at our wide receiver core. You know what? First thing that stands out, much shorter list than last week. Last week we had 10 receivers who caught balls. This week 7. In fact, I should say I'm not 7. 6 receivers caught balls. De'Ami Brown's on the list for a target. What stands out to you guys? Cole Turner with the 7 targets. That's the first thing that hits me.
Well, what stands out, I thought Curtis Samuel had a much better game than just 2 receptions for some reason.
First of all, wasn't he wide open on a? There was a replay I saw today
I feel that way.
on the third on the pass. What was the incomplete pass? The 4th and goal. The pass. I believe it was. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Board. Saw the replay today. There wasn't someone within 10 yards of Curtis Samuel standing on the goal line. And I saw this stat, and I don't even understand the next gen stats. Those people are maniacs. Like the categories that they keep track of. Please check me on this internet, but I believe the answer of the least covered by yardage receiver in the Washington and in the National Football League is Curtis Samuel. I think like it's like 4.9 yards of separation. Like the guy is running open so regularly,
and he was open on the interception in the red zone.
Yes,
Tre'Davious White, like that was Chris Sam, and it's just whatever. But
it's crazy that's a stat. But we should take that to heart. In the entire league, there's nobody more open than Curtis Samuel.
Well,
like
if
maybe
that's
we
the
should.
case, he should definitely have more than 2 receptions.
Yes, and more than 4
Jesus.
targets. I mean, that's crazy. Like
4 yards in the NFL. That's a mile.
I mean,
it's 5, and it's like 10 miles. It's ridiculous. Like, and Sam Howell can get the ball to a guy 5 yards open.
I agree. He targeted twice by Sam Howell career in the red zone. Terry McLaurin only has 2 career red zone targets.
That's crazy.
2 career red zone targets.
Well, he's not
Sam Howell as a
ball.
starting quarterback.
He's not a 50-50 ball guy.
Terry?
No.
He's our best. He's the best fit. He's the most contested catches. Stop it.
He is.
In the NFL.
We haven't seen it.
He went up against 3 dudes last week.
No. On deep balls. No, I'm talking about red zone. I just haven't really seen
like the
him do
old
it
Josh
in the
Doxson
red zone.
fade, the Doc Holliday fade. I think you throw the ball to Terry McLaurin. If you're going to throw that ball to Josh Doxson 10 times a game, you get to give that to Terry McLaurin.
I said F the Bills last week, and I'm about to say F myself for saying F the Bills because they F'd us, but F Josh Doxson as well.
Understood.
And
the desire to
I
continue
never
to
should
throw
have
to
said
him.
F the Bills. I felt it. I believed it, and I was completely ignorant
Brett,
to the fact
take your
that
De'Ami Brown hate right away. There's no need for it. We appreciate all the thumbs
Red's
up
already
out there.
rooting for the Dolphins again. So
Love your thumbs. Let's talk about the offensive line.
is that thumb doing the Jalen Waddle?
The
think it
thumbs
is.
doing the Taylor Swift.
Yikes.
The offensive line.
the house shimmy.
So T, you're out on Wiley and Gates. That's what I'm understanding from our
they
conversations.
didn't have a good week.
Okay.
They really didn't. And I feel like I don't know if they're just
I noticed Wiley. Didn't
Past the
notice
prime?
Gates. Not saying anything. I'm just saying I noticed Wiley.
I noticed Wiley.
I noticed Wiley in space getting schooled by a better athlete.
He got worse.
Yes.
He got
I mean,
They both
worse.
got-
let's be
they both
honest.
got
I didn't
just
notice the
speed
Gates. So
rushed.
I'm not saying he didn't.
not bull rush. They got speed rush, meaning
Yeah.
they just ran around them.
Right. Yeah, it's not. Well, that's not good.
That's not good either.
good.
Also bad.
Because I watched Wiley get I was like,
And-
oh my God.
They may be the best that we have for the year. I don't
No,
know.
it is. No. That's
Those
the
are
thing.
our 2 prize
I just
offensive
don't-
line signatures. They'll be all right, but that's who we got.
That's T. That's the thing.
No,
that,
but you
I
can't
think
quit on
we're
that
solid
yet.
in the middle. I think we're solid.
The offensive
in the
line is
middle.
set. There's no help coming. There's
We're
there's no
solid
free agent signing that's going to make us
At
better.
guard and centers.
The Hogs are not walking through that door.
No.
The guards have been a pleasant surprise, especially I think in the running game.
Cosme's been great.
We've been good.
But our bookends-
Cosme's been a dude.
He's been a dude.
It's been weak on the bookends.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's-
but Charles Leno's
and they
getting
got
graded.
exposed.
T. Charles Leno's getting graded well, and I don't know if that's a fake stat after 3 weeks or not. But him and Cosme are the best players we have on the line. at
And
this
that's
point.
fine.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, Leno and Wiley on the edges, I think we all agree on, aren't exactly
It's not Jansen and
top
Samuel
tier athletes
in their prime.
We're one of very few offensive lines without
We're
a
not
number 1
fleet of
draft
foot.
pick in our starting.
Not a single one.
Not one. And it shows.
and only 1 second.
And if we play together, that's one thing. And if we got a quarterback that's on it right now, we just need all of these things to time up a little bit better. Everyone has to do better, and it can happen, and I believe it will. This offensive line will improve. I don't think this is one of these detonators that we've had in the past that's just ready to just implode. These guys are going to get better together. Wiley is a good player. He's not a great player. He's a good player. We paid him good money, not great money. Not because he's a great player, because he's a good player. Leonard makes the damn same. We have 2 good players at tackle. That's not great.
The beauty of the offensive line play in the National Football League is I may have. You guys might not love the word choreography, but they get better together. They're at moving together and being together. I understand. Let's just put a pin in that for just 1 second, because the point is, there's a lot of things you don't just get better at. Like A wide receiver doesn't get better at catching as the season goes on. A running back doesn't get better at not fumbling necessarily as the season goes on. You don't become a better tackler at the age of 25. All these other things. But an offensive line, they can get better as the season goes on. As a unit.
I don't think these two are playing anywhere near their best football.
Well, no.
And I don't know.
I don't know. The stats bear that out.
But I don't know if they're capable.
They're capable of being better than they have been.
I don't know.
One of them is a Super Bowl champion.
They're
the
not
other
Andrew
one is
Norwell.
like
They're not Andrew Norwell.
Exactly. The other guy's like a fighter. He's like Nick Gates is like he's a dude in there. And now, mind you, he is not someone that individually is a standout. Like you just said, nor Wiley. We need these guys to be like Ken, the fabulous,
Kevin,
the Fab Five.
Check this out. NES Tecmo. This is really something that a lot of people. I got this comment in a variety of forms. Probably, I bet you no less than 7 times over Sunday. If you have a guy who has some legs, and I mean, I feel like we've also been trained.
You're limiting yourself to a half a field.
Well, haven't we also been trained in like the last 10 years
you can do.
when our offensive line has been terrible that they come out and they say, what we're going to do this week is we're going to move the pocket. We're going to get our guy on the run. We're going to get Taylor Heineke moving. We're going to get Danny Warfel moving. We're going to get Rob Johnson. It's just like name the terrible quarterback. And we tried like hell to get him out of the pocket because we couldn't protect him. Is that something we should have done more or no?
Go ahead first, T. Whatever you'd like to say.
It's got its advantages and disadvantages, but I mean, it's.
I like your half field idea.
But it does. It limits you to a half field. It gives your quarterback an opportunity or the option to run, which is a positive. You get him away from the middle, but I mean, it's not something you can just change your offense to do. It's a tool. It's not.
Wait, so Kevin,
hold up. I want to.
I know, but I want to add in a layer for you because we're playing Jalen Carter on Sunday, and he is
exactly.
the middle.
Well, here's the deal.
So you move with the pocket for
here's
him.
my point. With all of it, and I agree with what T said. You get to a half field with a young quarterback. That's great, but it limits you in some. Bottom line is this: their athletes are better than ours. Offensive linemen. It's just intrinsically
better
understood.
Better tackles, for sure.
Offensive linemen are half the athletes, the guys that they're protecting. The D linemen are 2 times the athletes that these O linemen are. And in 99% of the scenario.
Obviously Trent Williams.
It's just
guys
exactly.
Like
but that's the idea. That's understood. So now you're trying to get less athletic guys and move them in space against more athletic guys. That also can be a major problem because if you're not playing as a 5-team unit, 5-person unit,
choreography.
One guy in choreography lets up his skirt, and next thing you know, he's plieing when someone else is plieing. I don't know what that means.
Pirouetting.
But Jalen Carter's going to hurt somebody.
He's going to hurt somebody.
With a head start.
We talked about it all.
Now, moving it with quick is one thing. Moving it with quicks is one thing. Jalen Hurts moves with quick.
I understand, but we talked about it all. When we signed Eric Bieniemy, the whole idea was his style of offensive lineman is the more agile, athletic, especially on the interior. But you gotta be willing to step up in the draft and pick up the first and second round versions of that because then you are getting the athletes that can match up.
Let me just say this finally. My final answer is this. Our quarterback is a playmaker. He's a baller. Yes, he's in week 4, but you have to turn him loose. You have to let him be him. You can't just. He has to be a guy who creates. He's a playmaker. He's a decision maker. He's a quick thinker. So you have to. And so I agree. Yes, to a certain level, it'd be nice to get him a little for some quick action to move him a little bit.
A tool.
But we just all of a sudden can't just reinvent.
No. And also Sam Howell is a gifted. Again, we just talked about 10 minutes ago. He actually understands the pocket. He feels the pocket. He understands when to step up, and he's tough. His eyes stay downfield. He's looking for receivers, and he can take hits. Now, do we want him to take those hits? No. But guess what? In the NFL, you put your big boy pants on.
I think it's okay
and you step up. Yeah, he's
it's not
fine.
like, oh my God, if he gets hurt, no, it's not. Go play ball, Sam Howell. Be you. That's the beauty of making $1 million.
He's not getting shell shocked. He's not getting shell shocked from this by any stretch of the imagination.
The sun's going to come up tomorrow.
Yes,
I love that.
And we're 2-1. We're 2-1. We lost to a team that's been perennially a Super Bowl contender for the last 3 years, with a quarterback who has anyone's number on anyone's given day. Josh Allen is good enough to beat a lot of teams.
It's true, but the team that almost ran us,
I know,
just got run by 50. So But
I'm out on that one.
another team that almost robbed our opener just beat some turds that we don't give a crap about by double digits. So it's a crazy league. Don't care about anyone else. No one else's loss makes me feel better about anything we didn't do. That's embarrassing. Let's get good.
On the Denver thing, I've actually spent way too much. I spent maybe more time thinking about this than about Taylor Swift, honestly. And
erroneous at my
erroneous.
house.
When I saw and I was following along with the Miami and Denver game, first of all, Miami's one of the best teams in the league. Let's just be honest. They're talented. They have like talent everywhere. But like if anyone watched our game, and not a lot of people did, and for rightful reasons, it's Washington versus Denver, and it doesn't have the Taylor Swift Kansas City panache. People are tuning into our games.
And T's Dump website hasn't been created yet.
And T's Dump website hasn't been created yet. But if you actually watch that game, you'll see. I think
or book.
I think you'll come to two conclusions, maybe three
sorry.
conclusions. One conclusion is this: the way in which they jumped out to a 21-point lead on us was weird. It was like completely just randomly terrible, and the rate at which we closed that gap out and took the lead was exactly the same rate at which Miami was blowing out. If you look at it, I mean, we dumped points on them at a quick pace for a period of that game.
You said dumped because of what
I
we were
did.
talking about. It was nice.
Thank you.
I loved it.
I appreciate when you pick those things up. I honestly do.
I appreciate when you dump it on us.
And then we kind of reverted a little bit at the end of the game. But the main conclusion is the Denver Broncos. If we can just, I love when after we lose, we can divert attention to things like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce and the Denver Broncos. But let's talk about the Denver Broncos for a second because we played them, we watched them. They're bad. They're really fucking bad.
We're not them.
We're not them.
We're not them. We're not
They're
Chicago.
so crazy
We're
bad.
not the Jets. There's so many other people, organizations out there that are terrible right now.
I mean, everyone's going to say a 2-point loss.
Bases are losing their minds.
See, we didn't lose. The 2-point loss to Denver is kind of like
they're looking at Taylor Swift.
The Hail Mary and the
We're not there. We're not there.
The one thing about us is we
there.
know how bad losses feel.
Yes.
As a fan base, we're ready to go to Philly and get a W. Just because why not? Like, yes, I guess the honeymoon ended. That's fine.
We're not a bad team.
But the season just started. Our first loss started our season.
It's way worse.
It just started. It 2-0 is such a benefit to go into it with. How about this? How shocked would you two be if we eke out a little win in Philly?
I wouldn't be shocked
and then
at all.
sneak the Bears on Thursday, and then everyone's like, "Wait a minute."
Eke out a little one.
Hold on, let me see. Do I have? I don't know if I have.
That's the
anything
way
else
it's
for you
going to
guys
happen.
here.
It happens.
That's the way it's going to happen. That's the only way I think it can happen.
All I have is Martha. We're gonna go back. And this, I always keep this because I just love it. It's Darth Vader reading to Luke Skywalker. I don't know how it ends up in this thing every
you're
time.
freaking me out so bad. There's Martha, Darth, and Luke. This is not like if you told me this was going to happen 10 years ago. This is where I would be this night. I'd still come though because the whiskey and the company is amazing.
Company. Let's get Skywalker off,
and apparently,
and let's close this one out with these stats.
Apparently now Rhett's Thumb has its own Instagram page or whatever you call it.
We haven't got
How
any
does
more thumbs
Barton
up.
get double-digit tackles every game?
How do we have?
Well, because he's in the middle of our defense. Everyone's like,
he's the weakest guy on our defense.
I think he is extremely average. I don't think he's terrible. I don't think he's good. I need someone to tell me why he is our middle linebacker.
By the way, these aren't
it's so strange.
These
It's
aren't
like
the stats for this week.
Because Dallas.
That was last week's stats. These are this week's stats. Sorry,
he came from
Cody Barton
Seattle.
still had double-digit
He had
stats.
double digits.
Well, he has to.
I had last week's stats on. I know someone on the board is going to pick that up before I did. But the reason why I was like, wait a second, where's De'Ami Brown's tackle and Antonio Gibson's tackle and Curtis Samuel's tackle? That's
Can I throw this out there?
Yeah, throw
what
it
do you
out.
guys think of that? There just wasn't a good enough effort. by the
Go,
defense.
you take this one, Kev.
On defense?
Yes,
Well, they were out there.
there were some great plays made, but I mean, overall,
They were out there almost as long as the dirt.
the effort
I
there
can't. I'm
on
not
the
going to
field.
say one bad thing about our defense. I can't. They got put in every horrible position. When you have freaking 5 turnovers and you're playing.
True.
So, I mean, and the reason why we had 9 sacks, they're pinning their ears back. Everyone's like, oh my God. I'm like, yeah, is our O-line great? No. But I'm not saying this historically bad. You guys understand this league. In the NFL, when you're down double digits late second half, you know the other team's throwing the damn ball, and those dudes on the edge are coming with their ears pinned, and they're coming like hell, and there's nothing you can do to stop it.
I'm not like challenging the manhood of Jonathan Allen when I say that. The reason I bring that up is I think they're going to look at this and go, we can play a lot.
They can.
Freaking better than we
can.
did. We can give a little bit more than we gave. Like I think that this could be a helpful, like we see it's been said about Howell, it's been said about the enemy. It can be said about the defense. This could be a very helpful loss.
I agree. Sure. Josh Allen is a stud, and he was playing at the top of his game. He was running all over that third down run.
Oh, yeah.
How about that third down play he made rolling out right? Emmanuel Forbes did everything possible, but it was a tiny inch of football that slid by early in the game. And then the next thing you know, that's what Josh Allen's one of those guys. And when he gets rolling, he's on one. Yeah. It's like Larry Bird. You're not going to stop him. He's hot. He's heat check. But not like Larry Bird. If he's not on one, it could go the other way. We've never ever gotten to that situation.
There were so many crucial moments where the defense could get off the field, and they didn't in this game. They let him off the hook. I felt like they let him off the hook too much. They had a chance. They had a lot of third and longs that
was brutal. I agree with that.
Think about the third and longs.
I agree with third and
all the time
long.
when we have the
Josh
guys
Allen,
size-wise who match up with
Gabe
Josh Allen. When you
Davis.
talk about stopping a mobile guy, and Montez Sweat was standing nose to nose with him a couple times, and Josh Allen just beat him.
Yeah, well, Josh Allen's going to beat every defensive end athletically in space.
I know.
It was all just like
it's
right
tough.
there.
Josh Allen's a bad motherfucker.
We didn't
too.
have a sack.
Pardon my language.
We had one hit.
Sorry, I said that, but he is, and you're right. Both of those things are true. There's no excuses at this level. Montez Sweat and Chase are bad MFers too. But when Josh Allen gets rolling, they're scary.
Much badder MFers than they showed. I think.
I agree with that.
Week.
I think that is fair.
Let's come back.
I'm not going to argue with that. I'm not. I just when you have 5 turnovers on offense, it's hard for me to get too skeptical of the D. But you know what?
They still played well enough to
win. The
win.
D is our heart and soul. That's what we're winning with. We're trying to improve our offense on a weekly basis. That's where we're at.
It's weekly tests. I said on the Hogs Haven article in the post. The good news is got another test coming on Sunday. It comes against one of the best teams in the NFL, and don't want to give them the ball on the 1 yard line because of the unstoppable play that they have. But I've watched. I'd say I probably watched 85 to 90% of Philadelphia Eagles football so far this season. And the thing I told T, the one thing I would say is, but no, they never, in those 3 games, they never looked as good as Buffalo looked against us this past Sunday. That's for the first thing I'd say. I mean, Philadelphia is great.
Buffalo beat our ass and played outstanding
and they
football.
looked great, and everything they did worked. I mean, Philadelphia hasn't had that yet. Now, could we give it to them? Sure, but Philadelphia hasn't looked like that yet. Philadelphia, I mean, Jalen Hurts isn't Josh Allen. I think our guys match up well against. I think our defense matches up well against their offense. It's gonna be a real test for our offense.
100%
for our offense against that defense.
100,000%. And
I'm a little scared for Sam.
Well, because Sam doesn't have the wherewithal to maintain the pace that needs to happen.
We need to get Benjamin involved.
Just a little bit.
If Sam looks around and says, all right, this is what y'all need to do. This is what we needed to beat Philly last year. This is how it worked. Okay. Let's get into manageable downs. Let's make smart plays.
Control the clock.
You have
Greg
to.
Martin says.
I'm sorry, but the way they run the ball, they're not as offensive as they were last year, but they're nasty. It's the same game plan. Different quarterback. Now, this guy can actually make big plays and spread that field, so we don't have to just go for the 2.
And A.J. Brown is freaking good.
Yeah, I mean, shit, man. But we got the dudes in the secondary, I think.
Yes, 100%. We match up. I mean, if we're gonna lose some plays here and there, but we're gonna live and die on our defense. Let me ask you guys this: coordinator ways style. Let's talk about that just real fast. I had talked to T earlier. 3 weeks. Clearly, I think we could maybe all agree it was Bieniemy's worst game as an offensive coordinator in 3 games. Who cares about 3 games? Let's talk about Jack Del Rio for a second. We've been somewhat uneven all 4 quarters. Where are we at on Jack Del Rio after 3 weeks? We know the dudes we have. We know how we match up against teams. I thought the 37-3 didn't really tell the story of us. We got our asses whooped, but I don't think 37-3.
That was an ass whooping.
Yeah, 37-3.
You got to take it. You got to own it.
You got to own it. I mean, we ended up, we were on the 1 yard line. We were in scoring position multiple times.
16-0, ready to come out there and make it a 1-possession game.
Yeah,
nothing. Yeah. So let's talk about Jack Del Rio. I think the play calling we can harp on that. And we should as we move on. I don't want to do position groups again. We did that last week. I thought this week could be a good week to talk about coordinators. Let's talk about JDR.
I haven't had a problem with Del Rio's. I mean, it's been like you said, it's the heart and soul of our team.
Any comments?
It is, and I understand when you see Josh Allen running willy-nilly. It's troublesome, and historically we've seen this, and we hate it. It's part of defense in this National Football League right now.
Yeah,
the rules are set up for the offense to win. I'm being honest. The baddest ass dudes are on defense, and I love that.
Yep,
the dudes that catch and can. But here's the deal, man. We got to deal with what we got. Jack Del Rio is not the problem at all. What he's done with this defense, what he does, which I appreciate, he allows our best players to be themselves. We don't play Deron Payne gets to go out there and have a 3-down, 3-and-out on his own. He's not playing gap responsibility. He's playing, let's go beat the ever-living ass out of the dude that tries to beat the ever-living ass out of me. They're letting their guys play in space. I appreciate that. They're letting Montez and Chase play a certain way. And on certain downs, they release the hounds, and I love it.
So here's a comment from the board about JDR. I'll throw it up there right now because it's NAS. He wants JDR to prioritize eliminating the best player on the other team. That comes with serious risks, especially against a team like Philadelphia who can beat you a couple different ways. DeAndre Swift is a gifted runner.
Who is that?
DeAndre Swift has had a great first 3 games. I'm not necessarily over concerned about the running back because of our front. But Dallas Goedert and AJ Brown, you could talk about them all day long because they're beasts. Devontae Smith, his stats coming into the league are nuts.
He's a surgeon in the passing game. His route running is so precise. Yep. His athleticism and hands are incredible. His slender body is the only thing you can say anything about. He's kills
like
us.
Slim Pickens on offense.
He really is.
He kills everybody.
I know he does.
He's crushing it in catches and yards.
I think he's one of the best football players at $178 I've ever seen at this level. I can't now. He just, when I say surgical, yes, he's the guy that he's not going to come out there and manhandle your ass. He is going to somehow figure out the preciseness of. We got to deal with that. We got guys that can deal with him, but there's not one guy to take away unless you say Jalen Hurts. That's who we got to take away, boys. You cannot let him have his time or his ability to scramble.
Disrupt his game.
Yes, we do. Or you got to cut the head off the snake.
He can be disrupted too.
He's the snake.
He's not Josh Allen.
No.
He's the head of the snake.
He's as good as it comes, but he's not Josh Allen.
I'm saying we've got to cut that head.
All right,
sorry, Jalen. I didn't mean that personally.
We're in our 7-minute warning here.
I got you.
And I'll tell you. I'll ask. We're not. I don't want to make this the last thing because I want to give it some breathing room because I want the board to ring in too. T, what's the final score of the game on Sunday?
This week?
Yep.
So I went against my preseason prediction for the Bills game. I'm not going to go against it this week. We talked about this. I think this week, I have to say, good guys go down. It's going to be a fight. 27-24, we get a late field goal and have hopes of maybe getting the ball back and the Eagles run it out.
27-24, Eagles run it out at the end. Yeah. Kev?
23-17, bad guys. We go up there, we give a fight. These guys are good. They're not really playing great.
Nope.
I think we step up the level of competition and figure out how it feels to have a rookie quarterback on the road in Philly. Just what it is. That's how I feel. And then we get back on track the following Thursday. But we do have an incredible opportunity in the schedule within the conference
Yes.
To sneak one and then go sneak one on a Thursday and then chill out for about 9 days at 4-1. And that's a great spot to be in. I'm not saying that we're getting there. I'm saying the possibilities of that right now, they're apparent. And listen, I don't think I didn't even see what the spread would be. I'm going to say Philly at home is going to be 8 and a hook.
I don't know what the early line is. The board usually has that. What's the line currently? I'm going to go the other way on this one, boys. I think that this is. I don't think the Eagles have been winning convincingly. I don't. I think they've been great, a great second half team, and they've put themselves in position to run their play, which when they get inside the 5, they just rugby it in. And I hate the haters on that play. I understand why people hate it. If they're going to let you do it, just be good at it. That's like to me. That's like the essence of football is line it up, your guys on my guys, and try to get the ball that
Whoever
way.
can push ass further. And
Go
I will
my
say,
way.
a worse version of us beat a better version than them
Yes.
within the year.
Yeah, I think that this is I'm not a believer in the Eagles being like wire to wire great. I think
Eagles given 7.5.
yeah, it makes sense. I think the Eagles, you get to the end of the season, no one's surprised that the Eagles are sitting, near the top of the NFC. Fine.
Yeah.
But I don't buy them as like world beaters from day one to the last day. And they're going to be susceptible. I mean, look no further than Arizona beating Dallas.
It's September.
Yes.
This bad boy league doesn't end until mid-February. They better be good for a long time. They're not what they were last year. Is dominant early.
If everything goes their
They're
way,
fine.
or if
By the way, they're very good.
they're very good. They have
Yes,
plenty
they
of
are.
talent. And
They're better than we are. How about that?
They're better than we are.
They're better than we are. That doesn't mean they have to beat us.
Nope.
Because
So, all right,
Sam
so
Howell's
my
going to be a lot
score
better this week
prediction,
than he was last week.
I'm going to give you, and I think we're going to have to put some points up to beat the Eagles because I don't, a close game favors the better team in my opinion.
Was EB with Andy Reid in Philly before he wrote?
Was he? I don't think so.
No,
Was he?
think so.
Was he? I don't think it was.
was.
Was he?
Not as
don't think so.
as not a coordinator. I'm just talking about as a part of his package. I don't know because I know this. Andy Reid and him definitely had a conversation this week.
I think it's 31-24.
Yeah,
Good guys.
that's a lot of points. Right
It
there.
is. It is. I think it's a defensive touchdown. It might be Emmanuel Forbes'
that's
first
fair.
of the
Might
season.
need 2 of those.
I think it's Emmanuel Forbes' first touchdown of the year. I think that I think there's another big play in there somewhere. I think I think we have the. I don't think we're built
The
on.
scoop and score, maybe.
I don't think we're built on offense as being like we're not like the Tyreek Hill, whatever. But I
You
think
mean we don't have guys that are throwing touchdowns without looking?
I think we can make big plays. If you look over the last 15 years, you could look at our
Who needs
offense,
to see?
and
Who
on
needs
any
to
given week, you could say our offense, there's not a big play in our offense. We're not capable of it. We're capable of it. We have guys who can make big plays. Sam Howell's looking for it. Sometimes he's looking for it too long, and maybe that's part of his problem. But I think there's a huge play on offense, a scoring play on defense, and I think that we win this game.
It's a red zone league. Jalen Hurts led the league in red zone carries
he
last year. We know all that shit. That shit's not working the same way. Now, they almost got stopped. There was almost a measurement on your little whatever play that everyone talks about. Now, guess what? It's 1 year in. You know how this league works. Every D coordinator has talked to every other D coordinator. Like, what would you do? What would you do? What'd you do? What'd you do? What'd you do? And now they're like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do this. Now, good luck out there. And each year is such. Just telling you.
As somebody who understands the center position intimately as you do,
I certainly don't, but I will proceed to pretend that I do.
as your center, your
I
former center.
intimately know about his center.
Yes.
God damn it. That's a true statement, and it grosses me out, but it's fair. It's real, and it's true. Proceed.
Jason Kelsey, who, as much as I hate to admit it, I mean, he's now famous
Don't
for
hate
being
to admit
famous.
it.
He's a great center. He's one of the great. He's a great center. I think
He's a great American.
He's
He's outwarded his Philadelphia.
I think you're going to be potentially talking about a brothers in the Hall of Fame situation
It's good
between
to be
these
a
two
Kelsey
guys.
right now.
It's good to be a Kelsey right now. I
that's
think Jason
that's very true.
brothers in the Hall of Fame. That could be a brothers in the Hall of Fame situation potentially.
I don't know if it's ever happened, but I think it would be remarkable
I think
and well earned.
if you watch, okay, so this we can come. You guys can we can come back on this, and you can comment on my comment. I've watched a lot of these rugby plays. If you watch Jason Kelsey is the most important part of the play. The most important part of the play. I mean, Jalen Hurts is second, and the guys behind him pushing him are third. But the thing about Jason Kelsey, everyone's like, get lower, whoever's lower wins, and all this other crap. If you watch what he does, he goes, when he snaps the ball, he goes in, and tell me I'm wrong, and tell me what you think about this. He almost gets purposely folded by the nose tackle. If you watch what he twists his body, that's to me what the genius of this play. And I think it's Jason Kelsey. He snaps the ball and he gets himself deliberately pummeled and folded in a way that creates a space for Jalen Hurts, who then runs into it. It's
leverage. Have you ever seen the strongman competition?
I understand the leverage. All that
right, but
has to happen
the strongman
first.
conversation.
Yes. They get low
as he turns and goes.
But he is providing not just the leverage and torque, but he's also at the same time providing just a little bit of give to the defensive lineman, such that his body turns into the force of the defensive line, and Jalen Hurts goes right through that seam every single time.
He wants to go.
It's so it's brutal. It's brutal. He gets absolutely decimated every time,
and he knows it.
That to me, again, that's like the respect that you just have to just heap upon him.
He should be one of the most respected football players at his position.
Because
in
that
the NFL.
that play was invented and run successfully. Think about all the quarterback sneaks we failed at in the last 10 years, especially with Kirk Cousins, who can't run a quarterback sneak.
Tom Brady is one of the greatest.
He's one of the greatest. We couldn't do it to save our lives.
He didn't need all them torque wiggles.
No, but like that play, the specific Philadelphia Eagles play, and it's a Jason Kelsey special.
So as a 13U coach, I want you guys to know this. No, they've sent all the stuff. They're like, the rule only exists in one league, not out. Like kids are not even blocking anyone at the line of scrimmage. But guess what? No one can wait to grab their guy from behind, and people are just getting like
yes.
So it's such a terrible thing for youth football. It's
sure.
It's possibly the worst.
The push?
Yep.
The push.
They've sent, so I've told my team 20 times, and I've told them 20. And this week I said, dude, and the one kid was like, you sure I can't push? I'm like, how many times have I told you can't push?
You can't push.
I'm like, you haven't pushed anyone.
No
ever.
pushing.
I mean, you understand.
Can't push your own guy because you see it on TV.
Yeah.
It's so hard. If we all saw it on TV, what we go do at halftime? We go outside and be like, it's 4th and 1, and blah, blah. You three line right there, and us three, and we'd be like,
it's a tug of war. The opposite of a tug of war.
Let's do it.
It's a push of war.
Let's do it.
It's a push of war.
Let's do that shit. Like, right.
It's a push of war. And the danger is obvious. You get a quarterback in the middle, you get a quarterback sandwich between two defensive linemen and a fullback, and offensive lineman and fullback pushing him against defensive linemen and linebackers, and he just becomes like
don't act like you wouldn't want to be there.
Hey, we get back to our Taylor Swift scenario. I love it. You're going all the way back, but I mean, the push of war. It's a push of war.
Karma is the sandwich. Sorry.
It's I'm shocked that they haven't outlawed it. It's a terrible play for the quarterback and the center for that matter. But someone's going to get pulverized in the worst possible way. But also, people who play football for a living, like if you get paid like hundreds of thousands of dollars to play football, and you have a chance to line up this far away from someone and defend 3 inches of territory and go after it, it's kind of amazing. It's kind of awesome. I mean,
football is a game of inches.
Yes. Yeah, it is. I mean, it is. And those guys live for it.
Sable.
Those guys live for it. All right, so we're feeling good. Are we feeling good about the Philadelphia game because we have Chicago on Thursday? That's my last question of the night.
No, not at all. Because we also know that going 2-3 and having Chicago get their first dub against us on the Thursday would be super disgusting. I'm talking about opportunities for success and not the ones for disaster.
Opportunities for disaster are available for the taking. All right. Well, I said 7 minutes, and that's been 12 minutes. I appreciate what we got going on. We got we got our predictions in. We covered the stats of the day.
5 minutes too long.
I would love especially since we have a Thursday night game on a short week, a lot going on. I would love to have like some kind of a draft next week, a mini draft. I think we can shorten up the stats just a little bit and go with a draft now. Do you have any preferences as we get into the?
I don't even know. Like something about fall.
Yes.
Something
Yeah. Now you're
The
thinking.
best football player pop star couples.
I don't know about that, T.
That's very.
You're the expert on that one.
60-90.
Greg, while you're thinking about that, Greg did have one option for today that we didn't take up, but just to get the blood flowing, because he was talking about
Don't say get the blood flow.
TV series and movies that you watched after you knew they were bad, but you still watched them anyways. And that was the response, because there's some Jets fans on our text chain, and they're going to watch a lot of bad games this year, it seems. We've been to that rodeo. First quarter, how about this? First quarter of the season is done after Sunday, if that provides any kind of
First semester.
the first semester is done, so we have like maybe the collegiate or academic genre. Are we looking at TV shows? Are we looking at movies? Are we looking at characters? All-time great students in
What would people
cinema?
that like Taylor Swift and Pumpkin Spice do?
Wait, are you guys pumpkin spice guys?
No.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I'm right between it.
No, I'm
Right in the middle
no,
of it.
I'm not against it.
Love a pumpkin
I
spice.
love fall stuff.
I do too.
But I love pumpkins. I love pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin
I love
spice
the apple
is not
oat milk
my.
crisp. That's delicious.
No, it's
Apple-
apple crisp
apple
is
oat milk crisp.
Yeah, that's
so he
year round.
likes
That's
apple
year
crisp
round for
with-
me.
Me too.
It's delicious.
But it smells better, and I love cinnamon this time of year.
The cinnamon
I love
dolce
Irish
latte. That's a
Irish
Christmas thing for me.
Irish coffees this time of year, and any type of
Irish coffee.
cider drink with some Irish whiskey.
That's a
in it.
Halloween thing for
Whiskey
me.
and cider?
and Jack.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Lord,
for
I
sure,
boil
for
it
sure.
on-
Warmed up.
Cider and Jack.
warmed up, and I
Yeah.
put the cinnamon in it
Jack.
and boil it.
On-
I boil it
on
in the
the
house.
stove.
Everyone loves it.
I'm not a
Boil it
Jack.
on
I'm
the
not
stove.
going
Yes,
Jack.
you got to
though.
boil it on the stove. No.
Yeah.
You have to boil you can't boil the alcohol. It'll disintegrate.
No.
You don't get as hammered.
No, just the cider, and then you put a little Jack, and you put it in. A
I mean,
nice
I don't
little
mind
coffee
Jack.
mug.
No, it's my number one.
But Jack, are you going Jack?
It F's you up.
I go Irish
There's something
because
about
Jack
the
has
hotness,
so
too,
much
that
sweetness
F's you
in it.
up.
Yeah, no doubt.
Oh, my
Because
God.
it goes down quick
Oh.
when you need it. Yes. So I like that stuff.
We have a TV, movie, school teachers or principals.
Fall drinks.
No, we did.
All right.
You know, we
I
did
think
summer cocktails.
You
We
guys
did.
have to pick one of Greg Martin's ideas because they're all good and we have to do one of them because if we don't do one of them, we won't have anything. And they're all good. So, Ken,
I'm
get in
I'm
there.
gonna go TV, movie, school teachers or principals.
Do it. TV, movie,
School teachers,
or principals. I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, we can knock that out for some fun after the first quarter of the
love it.
season is
I
in.
love it.
The
I love
grades,
it.
the
I
report
think it's
cards are
great.
going to be
I
in.
think it's great. First semester's over.
First semester's over.
Bitches.
All right, let's go listen to some music out on the patio and enjoy some fall weather in the green.
You guys
room.
are the best. Thank you always.
Appreciate you guys. He's Tim Strachan.
The only Kelsey Swift combination I'm worried about are both wearing Eagles jerseys.
Who's this? S. St. John 73.
And DeAndre is from Philly and is back in town, and he's always hated us. He was at St. Joe's. He was beating us down here in high school. We got to take care of that business.
Who's this guy? I'll let T stay with us, Jack. S. St. John 73.
That's a great man. He played some ball over the. I think that if I'm reading this correctly,
And he's giving T his
that's
Jack.
Steven. That might be Steve.
Steven St. John?
Oh,
Is that
I don't know.
Steven St.
Well, we don't have to out anybody in here, but I think that's what it looks like. And
Tall son of a bitch.
Yeah, and a great song.
He's-
We're
I
saving
couldn't
the
be
Blands,
happier if
EO.
that is. That makes me
EO,
very
so the
happy.
Bland's is celebration whiskey for us.
I can't remember if you wore 73 at
We're gonna do it. We're
the
gonna
collegiate
make
level or not.
Sorry, you made me drink the Irish. He made me shoot the Irish.
it. It's all good. It's all drink.
I know
It's all drinking.
It's two great friends with great advice.
That's great advice.
And then
Thank you.
And then you shit the Irish.
I've been doing that since day one.
That's
Yes,
been a
you
long
have.
time. He's Kevin Ricca.
And I'm so happy to do this every Tuesday because you guys make it so much fun. And you guys make it so much fun. Thank you. Both of you. How about that? I'm thanking you right
No,
now.
thank you.
He
God,
said
don't
he
even-
said T's a
don't
narc.
even.
Hey, great job
He's
on
an
the
arc.
great
Don't
job
do
on the
it.
call this. Great job on the call this weekend. too,
Great
by
job.
the way.
Hey, great job. These guys withstood tropical storm force weather.
My
on
first
Saturday.
play-by-play, full game play-by-play. It was fun.
T and I will be live this Saturday.
I
from
know, man.
Bishop McNamara against Carroll. We'll be missing this guy, and then we'll be back the following week. All three of us back on the scene together at St. John's for a couple of weeks, I believe. And then
Yes, I look forward to. I'm there for both, by the way.
the next 3 weeks, you'll have high school football on this channel on Saturday afternoons in the greatest high school football conference in the land. We'll be, and then and that's only half of our remaining high school football slate, which is really cool if you think about it, because it's going to be some fun stuff.
agree.
We've been talking about it already tonight. So appreciate everybody. I'm Ken Marangolo. This is First Amendment Sports. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thank God it's Tuesday.
Thanks, guys.
We're still live. We're still live. And T and Red is still live.
Dun, dun,
All right, we're no longer live.